Hello and welcome to Front Row Racing. It's Thursday night, which means it's time for the Front Row Racing World Series Round 16 at the Circuit of the Americas in America. And every time I say that, for some reason I want to say in Australia, but it really isn't. I'm Front Row Racing DP. I'll be doing commentary this evening, and joining me in the commentary box is Front Row Racing RI, otherwise known as Rachel Brooks. How are you this evening, Ray?
I'm very well. How's yourself?
I'm not too bad, not too bad. Now, I did hand over the responsibility of question of the day to you for this week, but we'll get to question of the day in a little while. Before we get to that, we do need to do a quick review of last week's result and also mention that we have got a few reserve drivers in this week. Okay. Confirmation of the result from Russia. Obviously it was a very close finish between Hindle from a Racing GP and Hybrid Nuke, but with post-race penalties this is how the order ended up. Hybrid Nuke took the victory with Hindle in second place and from a Racing GP in third. I think Hybrid Nuke got a penalty for an ETL, Hindle won for a collision, and from a Racing GP got one for a qualifying ETL. In fourth place was the reserve driver for Underdog Racing Red Bull. I think that was RDB. Fifth was Charlie. Sixth was from a Racing NW. And then nobody else finished, or they did not race. Hindle took driver of the day. A great drive from the back of the grid to fight for the podium. Aided by a number of DNFs. Not helped being involved in a crash, but still managed to make up the gap. Team of the day went to Night Farf Mana Marusha. And a bit of an odd decision, people might think, but a race where so many drivers and teams did not make it to the end of the race. Their one and only driver from a Racing NW did get to the end, and he deserves a special mention for that. Okay, on to the standings then, and we've got Hindle in first place on 299 points. His teammate in second place on 256. From a Racing GP is in third place on 155, while Rickster in the McLaren Honda is in fourth place on 118. Dave the Harp is in fifth place on 116 points, and then we've got K-Slay in sixth on 103. So a bit of a battle between those three there. Acorn 95 is not racing tonight, but he's in 7th place on 67 points. And then we've got Richie Davey in 8th on 54. And 69, who's not racing this evening, is in 9th place on 40 points, and he's only 1 point ahead of his teammate Adam 4600, who's on 39. Adam should be joining us hopefully before qualifying or during it. He did say he might be running a little bit late. In 11th place we've got Andy Russell. He's got 28 points, and close behind him is Charlie on 27 points. We then got From a Racing NW, who isn't racing this evening, on 15 points, and Farfber on 9 points. Quickly go through the constructors' standings, and Williams, or should I say Victoria's Secret Williams Racing, are the constructors' standings for this season, and they are on 555 points. Second place is Midlands Madness Ferrari on 266, and not too far behind them is Killer Acorn Mercedes on 238. McCharles McLaren Honda are in fourth place on 165 points, and then there's a bit of a gap to Underdog Racing Red Bull, who are on 91. Godolphin Sauber, they dropped down a position in the standings at the last event when neither driver finished. They're in 6th on 88 points, and Night Farf Man and Marusha are on 60. Now, as I'm looking at the screen here, I will mention that Mr. Hamilton 44 is in as a reserve driver from a Racing NW this evening. Let's see, where else do we have another one? RDB is also in as a reserve driver for Ant69, who is still struggling with a few health issues. And then we've got Lefty Hardtail in as reserve for Acorn 95. Now, you're going to have to excuse me a moment, folks. I'm going to have to send Ray an invite back into this chat party, or he's going to have to send me one. There have been issues with the chat parties over the last 3 or 4 days. and I've now been kicked out of the chat party and everybody can hear me. Keep your comments quiet, guys. You're live on YouTube. So I will see if Ray has gone and set up a new chat party. Looks like he may have done. No, not yet. So just bear with us a moment, folks. We will get going as soon as we can. Okay, there we go, back into a chat party with Ray then. So apologies for that minor delay there, folks. A little annoying that, isn't it, Ray? Turn your mic off, mute.
My mic is off, mate.
Yeah, I was just saying that there has been a few issues over the last few days with the chat parties. It's really frustrating, to be honest, because we haven't yet worked out what may be causing it. But we will crack on. Hopefully we won't have any further issues, but if we do, throughout the broadcast you may see me having to go to a blue screen to accept an invite, or try and set up a chat party. But anyway, I think we're about 31 minutes past, so I'm fairly sure I have covered all of the standings. Ray, if you just want to quickly send all the drivers another invite, I'm fairly sure I did send them a couple anyway, but if we just send them one final invite in case there is any technical issues. And I'll quickly just give a quick mention about this particular racetrack. First Grand Prix here, 2012. The number elapsed for the drivers this evening is going to be 28. Circuit length of 5.513 kilometres, and Sebastian Vettel holds the lap record around here of a 1 minute 39.347, which really we should get beaten, or we should see that beaten this evening. Okay, Ray, have you got the invites sent out there?
I'm just finishing them off. Handles the last one.
Okie doke.
Invites have been sent.
No problem. Okay, I've hit ready. We'll send the drivers over to the racetrack then. And this is a racetrack where I know a lot of people don't particularly like this track. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of it. I don't mind it, but it's one of those tracks where it's a lot like Suzuka's Sector 1. If you get turn 3 wrong in Suzuka, you get turn 4 wrong, 5 wrong, 6 wrong, 7 wrong, and you probably end up in the gravel. Similar here. You get turn 3 wrong, you're getting 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 wrong. So it's a very, very awkward racetrack, and a very difficult track for the drivers to get their setup sorted. I mean, I have spoken to quite a few of the drivers, and some of their comments have been quite interesting regarding how much aeros to use or not to use. I mean, what would you do around this racetrack, Ray? Would you look at going with a higher aero package and maximising the speed through Sector 1 and 3?
Yeah.
Nice short and sweet answer on that one. Okay, I know why that is. It's because you're looking to see whether there's going to be any wet weather here. And it's sunny, although it does look a little bit hazy in the background. I will quickly mention for any of the viewers, if you do have any questions that you want to ask at the commentary team, you can put at Ray. It makes it easy for him to spot messages, and if he can keep up with them, he will try. But I tell you what, we'll try something new for this week. Regarding the question of the day, it might be an idea to put at QOD. A bit of a new one for you, that, Ray, but I'm just wondering, it might make it a little bit easier for people to give their response to the question of the day. And seeing as I've mentioned that, and we're looking like we've got dry weather here, Ray, as I mentioned, responsibility has been given to you for question of the day this week. So would you like to let us know what your question of the day is?
Yeah. What's round, but not always round, is light sometimes, is dark sometimes. Everyone wants to walk all over me, what am I?
I know the
more a
answer.
riddle.
I know the answer to it. I know the answer to it. Okay.
That's why I decided one.
Well, me and Ray, we've had a little conversation. He says, I've got a riddle for you. Okay. He says, I'll tell you what it is in case you know it. I says, no, let's do it live. And if I know it, I can either say I know it, but I won't give the answer, or I can give the answer, and you can go on to your second one. So I'll give you the choice, Ray. Do you want me to give the answer, or do you want it to play on people's minds for a little while?
We'll let it play on until the end of qualifying.
Okay, no problem.
The comments, then we'll go to the second one.
Okay, so while the drivers are on their outlap then, just give it another shout out. What is the little riddle you've got there for us?
What's round but not always round, is light sometimes, is dark sometimes. Everyone wants to walk all over me, what am I?
Okay folks, so there's your question of the day. Feel free to post your replies or comments of what you think it is. And I did say to Ray as well, if they're a bit nasty, I've got about 4 or 5 I can come back at you with. So this could get a bit interesting. Now just having a quick look at Lefty Hardtail here. In as a reserve driver for Acorn 95, the guy's got a little bit of pace. He's been an FRR Riders driver for quite a few events now. I think he's even had a win or two. But he's on the prime tyre at the moment. Now I will admit I didn't note down sector times around this track. I do apologise for that, folks, but I do know that a very good lap time around here in qualifying, you could be looking mid 36s. It's kind of the area that I was hoping for the World Championship, but injury put a halt to that one. So, seeing what times were posted yesterday, I've got a feeling we could actually be looking at mid 37s or higher here today. All depends on what kind of aero setup the drivers have gone for. Now, Lefty Hardtail, as I mentioned, in as a reserve, and when we, myself and Ray, went harassing the drivers in the pit complex earlier on, trying to get a few comments from them, Lefty Hardtail said, I'm feeling slightly nervous as I'm standing in for Mercedes, so I want to do well for the team. I'm also feeling confident as I was able to win the Friday's event at U.S.A. with no penalties. Today's a different day though, see how I get on. And if you can, thank Acorn for giving me the opportunity as well. Cheers. So Lefty Hardtail, he's got experience around here, and this is why the FRR Riders events are a week ahead. The reserve drivers have had a bit of a race around here. They've practiced for that. They've got it in the bank. So sector 1 of a 26.277 for him. But I'll tell you what, Ray, why don't you let us know who you're keeping an eye on?
The comments coming in.
Go on then, let us know what the comments are that are coming in as Lefty Hardtail does a 40.4 sector 2.
A couple for the answer, and a couple of other drivers for the different weeks are on, so they're just commenting as well. A Hammer Time 44's commenting, is he not supposed to be racing? I'm going to get my dog today, aren't I?
It's Hammer Time races in the World Championship. You're thinking of Mr. Hammer on 44. Lefty Hardtail's just gone second place on his prime tyres. Let's see who's on pole position at the moment. It's Richie Davey. He's on a set of option tyres though, with a lap time of a 1:38.797. I'll tell you what, let's see if Richie's going for another lap. It almost looks like he is. Now, we did try and catch up with Richie Davey earlier on. No, he's on an in-lap now. We did try and catch up with Richie Davey early on for a pre-race comments, but yeah, he was unavailable. And it looks like we've still got chat party problems going on, which is going to get really, really frustrating. Like I say, it has been an issue that has been plaguing a few of us since Monday, I think it was. The frustrating thing about that is that I'm probably going to get a kick from the chat party in a second. And there you go. So everyone will be able to hear me now. So if drivers can hear me, please keep your comments clean. There are a few chat party issues going on. Yeah, everybody is struggling with chat party issues then. I do know it is a PlayStation. Well, PlayStation did kind of confirm that there did appear to be some kind of problem, but their advice as usual was, reset your hub, reset your internet. Well, no offence PlayStation, but I did that 5 minutes before I came online. Yeah. Well, yeah, I do mean offence. I mean, it's their stock. It's the good old, why don't you turn it off and on again? Okay, let's see, Rickster. He was on a lap, but that's been invalidated in Sector 1 by the looks of it. What I don't really want to do is find a driver that is on a lap and commentate on it and really put him off. So Mr. Hamilton 44, he's not on a lap at the moment, so he's in as a reserve driver. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on. His pre-race comments, quite short and sweet here, his pre-race comments of, if I can find them, that's not what his comments were. My aim is to win. Quite simple there. Okay, I'm going to see if myself and Ray can get back into our chat party. Okay, so myself and Ray are back in the chat party. Ray, if it happens again, I'll try setting up the chat party. We'll try doing it that way round. Okay, so Mr. Hamilton 44, he is on an outlap at the moment, and just to let you know as well, Ray, that quite a few of the drivers are suffering with chat party closures at the moment as well. Okay, Hindle.
They're speaking about it on your chat.
Yeah, Hindle, he is on a hot lap at the moment at 25.8 Sector 1, a 39.7 Sector 2. He's probably about 6/10 off where he needs to be for a fantastic lap in Sector 1 and a good 4 or 5/10 off in Sector 2. Let's see what his Sector 3 time is as he is about to cross the line. He goes a 137.5, so I got my mid to high 37s absolutely bang on. And Hindle's pre-race comments, worst track on the calendar for me, struggling for race pace, quali is okay. Think my teammate has this one. Interesting comment there from Hindle then. Richie Davies still in second place. RDB, he's just gone and popped himself in third place. And what did RDB have to say when we caught up with him earlier on today, Ray?
I hope to have another decent quali and stay out of trouble in the first couple of laps and get into my rhythm. A top 6 finish with no penalties again will be a good result for me. Good luck to all the teams and drivers.
Yep, so RDB looking for a good event here again then. David Harp is going into the pits to get rid of a set of prime tyres. We've got K-Slay and it looks like that could be Hybrid Nuke on their way out of the pits. It is Hybrid Nuke and he is on option tyres. From a Racing GP, get ready Ray. From a Racing GP is on an outlap on a set of prime tyres at the moment. Now we saw what he did in Russia last week, qualifying on the prime tyres, and when we tried to catch up with from a Racing GP earlier on today, Ray, what was it he had to say?
Oh no, you're not putting that one on me. He's been watching too much Harry Potter.
Okay folks, as you know, from a Racing GP likes to be a bit of a pain in the backside when it comes to his pre-race comments, and he's going into the pits. So I might have to wait until he's back out on track. But Ray, you were sneaky there, avoiding that one. Andy Russell, he's in Sector 1. I think he's just had his lap invalidated. I'll give it a try. No, Andy Russell hasn't had his lap invalidated. He's just moved out of the way to let someone through. Andy Russell also shunned us for pre-race comments earlier on. Mr. Hamilton 44, he's made his way through Sector 1. Sector 1 of a 25.641, but he's had his Sector 1 invalidated, so he needs to get round again. Excuse me. Richie Davey, he's on a 25.9 Sector 1, a 40.2 Sector 2. He's still going on. The quadruple apex, long turn, 16, 17, 18. Okay, it's a triple apex. Horribly long corner, but that's where setup is absolutely vital. Into the final corner now. We'll see what this lap time is. He's in second place at the moment. Can he improve? It's a 38.5. Okay, let's have a quick look at, let's see, Hybrid Nuke. He's on a flying lap at the moment, going round turn 1. Now, Ray, what did Hybrid have to say when we caught up with him earlier on today?
No practice, what happens, happens.
Interesting. So his teammate thinks that Hybrid's got this one in the bag, but Hybrid's not had much practice, and it's a 26.0 sector 1, so a tenth or two slower than his teammate through that sector. Bit wide at turn 9, may be invalidated, may get away with it. Looks like he may have got away with it, but remember folks, what we see visually on broadcast is not always exactly what the drivers see, proven by yesterday's turn 11 contact, non-contact. But Hybrid Nuke's currently in 7th place. So go on, Ray, what do you got for us?
Watching Case Lane, he got his lap time invalidated at Sector 1, and Case Lane, he's not a fan of the track, not expecting much, so could we see a disqualification by that?
Well, you never know. I mean, this is a track where if disqualifications are going to come, this is one that could happen. Go on, what do you got?
No, it's alright. His Sector 2 came up, but it's still, lap time's still at 21.4. I don't think you could get round the track in 21.4 seconds.
No. Okay, Hybrid Nuke is into the final corner. I've got a feeling this is going to be in the 38s. See what it is. It's a 39.1. Just going to show that not a lot of practice can hurt the lap time. He's got enough time and hopefully enough fuel to go for another flying lap. Let's see, from a Racing GP. Okay, he's warming himself up to start a flying lap, so I guess I better warm myself up for a...
Yep.
Yeah.
All the viewers are waiting for you.
No, he's going in the pits again, so we'll pass that one off for a moment.
No, you'll just go on, mate. Come on.
No, Rickster's on a flying. No, you're right. I'll get there in a minute. Rickster's on a flying lap. Sector 1 of a 26.2. Sector 2 of a 40.1. Let's see. What did Rickster have to say when we bugged him earlier on? Gutted about last week. Hope my connection can hold up this week. You've just cursed yourself. Not expecting anything amazing. America hasn't always been a good track for me. And Rickster, that has just been proven because he's just had his lap time invalidated. He's currently saying 10th place. He may be able to continue on for another lap. Now, I've got a feeling, that from a Racing GP is just setting sector times at the moment to start ahead of anyone that doesn't get a lap time in. No, he has actually set a lap time. Let's see, Hindle up at the front, still on a 37.5. Lefty hardtail. See, Hindle's on a fly. No, he's on an out lap, sorry. RDB, he's on an out lap. Hybrid Nuke, he's in the pits. Dave the Harp, he's on an out lap. So the drivers getting themselves ready for this last final attack of the circuit. Let's see, Rickster, his session is now over. Charlie's sitting in the garage. Mr. Hamilton 44, he's out on track, about to start another flying lap. He's had a few invalid and have to crack on if he wants to have a chance of winning this race. I mean, the guy has got pace. He's proven that. He won... well, I'm fairly sure he's won FRI Days events. So he needs to try and get this Sector 1 absolutely spot on, because... looking at his Sector 1 time, he's got the pace through Sector 1 to trouble the front row of the grid. Into a very, very tricky section of corners now. Turn 9 here, blind over the hill, can't let it run wide. Rear wants to step out. 10 down the hill into the not too heavy braking zone of turn 11. It's mainly about traction on exit of this corner. DRS will be available very, very soon. Sector 1 time of a 25.755. DRS wide open now. One corner to go for the end of the next sector, and anything sub 40s could be on for first or second row of the grid. Doesn't run too wide, nicely done. Sector time coming up. 39.8. This could be good. Just needs a decent final sector or rear end stepping out on him. Very easy to do there. Interesting left-hand corner. Better off taking a wider line through. You can get on the power early. Little lift, clip the first apex, clip the second apex if you can, keep a tighter line. Now the blind apex of the penultimate corner. This could be a good lap from him here. Could be on the front row of the grid. Final corner completed, little cautious on the throttle. It's a 37.9, it's only third place. So who has gone and popped themselves into second? It was Lefty Hardtail with a 37.8. Okay, Front Racing GP.
Doing a flyer.
Okay, Front Racing GP is on a on an outlap as well, Ray. So let us know when he is starting his flying lap. We'll get over to him. Excuse me for his pre-race comments. Okay, Lefty Hardtail, Sector 1, 25.9. Ray, have you had any more comments come through? Anybody having a guess at your riddle-ish question of the day as Hindle retires from the session?
No, just the one person, driver Montana, I'm sure it was. Not seen any more come in.
Okie doke. Well, if you want to quickly remind us what it was, because the guys are only going to have about 2 minutes to try and get an answer in on it.
What's round, but not always round, is light sometimes, is dark sometimes. Everyone wants to walk all over me, what am I?
Okay, so there's your question of the day. If you think you know what the answer is, pop it in the comments with @QOD. Lefty Hardtail, sector 2 times a 40.0. He's going to need a very, very good sector 3 time to try and improve on his current second place. Round the final corner he goes, and across the line, is he going to improve? It's a 37.9. It's still second place.
Steve just started his Front Racing GP, and nobody wants to hear about my riddle. They want to hear GP's comments.
Okay, as you know, folks, if you're an avid watcher of the Front Racing World Series, you'll know that Front Racing GP usually uses the language. Oh, Hybrid Nuke's had an off. He's had an off. His session is over. Lefty Hardtail has also had an off. Try and get back on board with Front Row Racing GP, but it is not letting me, which is really frustrating. There we go. I'm on board with him now. Okay. Yeah, Front Row Racing GP likes to put in a comment using the language of the country they're racing in, and seeing as it's America, he realised that wouldn't be very useful. So he's done something a little bit different this week. This ain't going to go well. I really need to become abstemious as I keep being mistaken for an American. Whoever is ahead of me, I need to be like a parastratiosphecomioidis around defecation. I think that means like a fly around poo. Circuit of the Americas is difficult. I must take care this week or it will have been worthless. Or is it just floxinosinihilification? I also hope DP doesn't suffer with hippopotamonstrosis equipedaliphobia, or he will not be able to read this. Obviously I do suffer with that because that was a pain in the arse to read, but Front Row Racing GP going across the line and has put himself in 6th place, and that is qualifying over. So Hindle takes pole position, Lefty Hardtail 2nd place, Mr Hamilton 44 in 3rd, Richie Davey 4th, K-Slay 5th, Front Row Racing GP 6th, RDB 7th, Hybrid Nuke 8th, Dave the Harp 9th, Andy Russell 10th, Rickster 11th, Charlie 12th, and Farthbow will be starting from the back of the grid behind us, Ray. And I'm going to answer Ray's question of the day, and it is the moon. You are the moon.
We had Megan Fox behind the clouds.
Well, so did I get it right, Ray?
So
did I get it right?
Yep. You and Driver Montana.
Yep. I got that. I remember seeing that in, I think it was the Transporter films.
Transporter 2.
Transporter 2.
I love the film.
There you go. It is a good film with Jason Statham. Okay, start to the race here. The drivers will be making their final preparations, working out what they're going to do for strategy. For the likes of someone like Hybrid Nuke, I don't know what happened at the end of that qualifying session, but he's going to have a lot of hard work to do if he's going to try and outscore his teammate here. But for his teammate, he has got a few drivers behind him that have the potential to fight him for the victory here. With Lefty Hardtail, Mr. Hamilton coming in as reserves, putting themselves in second and third on the grid. Now, quickly mention Adam 4600. I believe he did manage to get in the lobby. He did say he's not confident around here. It is a fun track to drive though, and he has 2 setups to choose from, although he may not be able to use any of them. And let's see, was there anybody else that... Dave the Heart. I just got to try and gain points on GP, and I am expecting drivers to have penalties here, which should bump me up the table. Okay, we've got 6 seconds, Ray. Predictions?
Lefty Hardtail.
My prediction, mayhem at turn 1. Okay, I'm going to have to move out of the way, as are you, Ray. But the lights are on, the lights are out. It's time to go racing as the drivers make their way up to the steep hill of turn 1, where absolutely anything can happen, and it usually does. And it'll happen before we can get there. Now, hopefully the drivers can get through nice and clean. And now Ray's just cursed it. You know that there's going to be something kicking off. Okay, RDB from a Racing GP battling it out between themselves at the moment. But Hindle, he's leading the way as they make their way through the S's. Few drivers taking a little bit of extra tarmac there, and it's not overly surprising. It gets very, very busy. We've got a Marusha running a little bit wide. That's Mr. Hamilton 44. But Caslay's gone and popped himself up to 5th. But Hybrid Nuke, I think he's trying to pass him to get himself into 5th. He is. He's up the inside into the hairpin. He's got a Sauber ahead of him and a Red Bull behind there, going to be trying to attack him as well. So Hindle opening up a little bit of a gap up at the front, but it does look like all drivers have managed to get away off the line, and it could get busy now into the turn 12 corner. Williams looking up the inside again, now the outside. Got to be careful of doing that when you've got cars behind you as well. But Hybrid Nuke up to 5th place. Marusha and Sauber fighting in the background. That'll be Farfper and Andy Russell. Richie Davey now under attack though from the Williams. It's all getting very, very frantic here. RDB, I'm fairly sure he qualified. I thought he qualified. No, it was Mr. Hamilton 44 that qualified 3rd. So RDB currently sitting in at 7th place. Okay, coming around the final corner then for the first time of the Grand Prix. Hindle leading the way. Lefty Hardtail 2nd. Mr. Hamilton 44 in 3rd. Richie Davey in 4th. And then it's getting very, very busy behind.
Rickster got the move at the last corner over front row Racing GP, and he's on the back of Charlie. No, RDB's just gone deep, sorry. RDB went very, very deep at turn 1. Not sure exactly what happened there. He's got himself back in at the action, but he's now lost a lot of places. So you say Rickster has been gaining a few positions, Ray? He gained a lot over front row Racing GP, but at turn 1 he was right up behind Charlie, but he hit the brakes dead early. I don't think he's confident on the brakes.
Quite possibly. His teammate Charlie, though, is all over the back of Caseley at the moment. So that Ferrari is going to have to watch out as the McLaren gets very, very close into the hairpin. DRS is not available yet, but it will be soon.
Hybrid Nuke on Richie David, 4th and 5th, and Hybrid Nuke's going to the outside. He had the slipstream. He's passed him. No,
Richie David's coming back
on the brakes.
And I tell you what, Charlie's trying to make a move in the background as well as Richie Davey now defends the inside of turn 13. But Hybrid Nuke's got the inside for the next 2 corners. And he's ahead. Has Charlie managed to get ahead as well? He has. Oh, we've got a crash. Cars are off. That's Charlie. I did see another one as well. Was it Caseley? Okay. So Charlie and Caseley having a little bit of a coming together then from, I think it was 5th and 6th places. That now puts Rickster all over the back. Caseley's been disqualified from the session. I'm wondering if that was after the collision, a return to track. The game can quite often penalise you for an unsafe return to track in the most harshest of ways. But I tell you what, he will be absolutely livid about that one, as any driver would be if they feel they've been punted.
Sorry, we've got Paul overtaking Front Row Racing GP. No, he can't quite do it. They're down side by side through sector 1, turns 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, a little bit of touch between the two of them, and they've ended up a little bit off track, but holding position. I mean, sector 1 is not an easy sector to go side by side through. It can be done, but it does cost both drivers quite a bit of pace. Now we are on the third lap of the race, so DRS will be available on this lap, and we've got two battles going on here.
Is he going to make it stick? He's made it stick out round outside the turn. I think that's turn 11.
You'll
know that turn better than me.
It is turn 11. The question is, who's got the DRS? We've got two attempts of overtakes going on here. Paul got the DRS, but just behind them, RDB, yeah, he's going for the overtake and manages to get up the inside of Andy Russell. Nice little move there. Tell you what, I think Dave the Harp, whereabouts is Dave the Harp on the grid? He is in 13th place. I can't remember where it was he qualified, but it looks like he's on the prime tyre and he's running in last place at the moment. So Hindle still leading, opened up a bit of a gap to Mr. Hamilton 44. Hybrid Nuke's now in third. Lefty Hardtail, he's dropped down from second place to fourth. Don't know exactly what had happened to him, but while we've been watching the other action, he has gone from second place to fourth. Richie Davey is in fifth place at the moment. Charlie in sixth, and his teammate Rickster behind him in seventh. Farper in 8th and Front Row Racing GP behind him in 9th. RDB 10th. Andy Russell having a look up the inside, can't quite do it, in 11th place. Adam 4600 is driving at Force India, but he will score points for Red Bull, and he's ahead of Dave the Harp in 13th place. Okay, let's go and see where our battles are. A little bit of a gap between first and second place. Fifth and fourth looks like the closest battle near the front at the moment, but we're in that stage of the race, Ray, where tyre wear is going to come into effect.
The two McLaren boys are getting close as well. Oh, Charlie goes deep it round the corner. Rickster takes it out of line. Rickster's going to get a DRS and Molly gets slipstream. Or will Charlie have the faster pace car?
I think Richie Davies got a chance of an overtake. He's having a look. He's not fast enough. The McLarens hold position. Farfborough and GP. No move
Charlie's
going on there.
Is that going to let Rickster through? Yep, he's hit the brakes and let Rickster through.
Well, that's not a bad move there by Charlie. I mean, on most races, Rickster is the faster of the drivers, so it'd benefit Charlie to allow Rickster to go and attack the cars ahead and then follow him along the way if he can. It would work better for the team that way. Okay, lap 4 is pretty much about to be completed by the leaders. Should be, no, he's on lap 5, and Mr. Hamilton 44 is beginning to close in that gap on Hindle up at the front, so something for Hindle to think about. His teammate might not be harassing him, but Marusha is. So when do you think we're going to see the first round of pit stops, Ray?
Lap 7, maybe? I can't remember the last night.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think last night. Go on.
What happened to Paul? Paul was very slow out of turn 2 and it let GP in front of him.
Maybe he had a bit of a moment somewhere, perhaps went off track a little bit, perhaps setup not suiting his car. He wouldn't have had a lot of practice, I don't think. So maybe he's had a bit of a moment and just sort of backed out of it to avoid any kind of penalty. But that will have now freed up for a racing GP. So he's got to try and now catch the McLarens. Well, let's go back to...
Rickster, can he get the move done down to turn 12? He's got DRS, he's got slipstream, he'll be late on the brakes. He's shown Richie Davey, I'm in the inside. No. Oh no.
Richie had to give him the room at the apex. Well, I think Richie had to give him the room at the apex of the corner in case Rickster was there. That's given Rickster half a chance. Can he have a sniff up the inside? Richie sort of closes the door on that one. So that battle will continue. Oh, it's going to continue right now because Rickster all over the back of him. Dirty air around the long right-hander, though. He's going to go to right on the outside. That'll give him the inside for the next corner. Can he make it? Just what a move. What a move. His teammate may even be able to follow him here. But he has just given Richie Davey DRS though down the start finish. But his teammate's going to get DRS. Rickster could find himself under attack. I wouldn't be surprised if Richie does have a look up the inside. No, he's kind of covering off Charlie rather than looking for the attack. Okay, let's. Hindle's pitted. Sorry, Hindle's pitted. He's on the prime tyre now. He's come out in 9th place. You say RDB's pitted as well?
Yes. Andy Russell's pitted.
Okay, so RDB 12th, Andy Russell 13th. That frees up Mr. Hammer 44 to lead the race then in his reserve drive here in the World Series. Hybrid Nuke is now in 2nd place, but it'll be a case of for Hindle. I tell you what, for Hindle, it was absolutely vital that he came out ahead of Dave the Harp and Adam 4600. If he came out behind them, it'd be held up through Sector 1. Coming out ahead of them means he can pull away.
GP's got ahead of... no, he did get ahead of Paul, sorry.
Yeah, but Paul's all over the back of him.
Yep.
Can't make a move. Oh, yes, he can. Yes, he can. GP ran a little bit wide. Don't think there's much space left by Paul on the exit of the corner there. But the McLarens and that Sauber are still getting close up ahead. Lefty Hardtail, 3rd place, all on his own, is the leader. Going to be going for the pit lane. The answer is no. He is continuing on. Hybrid Nuke, 2nd place. That's a pit entry, that is. Lefty Hardtail, 3rd place. That looks like a pit entry to me. Rickster, 4th place. Charlie, don't follow him. He looked like he was going to. Instead, he's going to try and attack Richie Davey. I think Charlie wanted the pit lane there, but couldn't go for it. We've got a Ferrari in the pits as well. That'll be Front Row Racing GP. So Charlie with DRS, but Richie Davey had it as well from being as close to Rickster as he was. But they've now got Paul beginning to catch up the back of them. So this could get very, very interesting. But I tell you what, Richie Davey's front left tyre, my days, that looks like it actually had tread blocks on it. Oh, was that Charlie sneaking up the inside? Yeah. I think he may have been off track a little bit, but he definitely snuck through. But Richie Davies' front left tyre, I've not seen a tyre look like that for a long, long time.
Charlie, and what I seen, his front left wasn't off the track, it was still on track.
Oh, I've just seen Charlie's car lag about a little bit though, so his visuals to me may not be exact. But here comes Paul now, Farfba, he'll have DRS available. We can see a Williams behind, that will be Hindle. So these guys haven't pitted and Hindle is close. And Charlie's going to have to try and fend off these guys to the best of his ability. But I think we'll be seeing him going for the pit lane. Richie Davey, I think he hasn't really got much choice but to go for the pit lane with how his tyres are looking. Paul's having a sneaky look, decides not to go for it. He's got Richie out of position though, so maybe able to have a look on the exit of the corner. Charlie's gone off. This could get tricky, this could get messy. Get ready to cheer, because one of these guys may suddenly disappear.
You don't want to cheer at that.
Oh, we've got debris. Before the final corner, there's a front wing. Charlie, Richie Davey going for the pit lane. Farfba continuing on. There's definitely been a collision around, or just before the final corner.
I'm checking.
Mr. Hammer 44, he's made his pit stop from the lead of the race. Hindle, I think, yeah, he's already long gone around turn 2. So where is Mr. Hammer 44 going to feed back out onto the track? 5th place, just ahead of Lefty Hardtail. Sorry for some of the dodgy camera views. It'd really be nice if it stayed on broadcast. Go on, what you got, Ray?
GP, Andy Russell and Charlie all at turn 1.
Oh yeah.
RDB's coming for a move on Richard Davey and he's got the place.
So RDB making moves then. And for a Racing GP, he has got a couple of cars right behind him that are going to try and pressure him, and they've got a couple of cars behind them and we're going to try pressuring him then as well. So this could all get very, very interesting. Richie Davey going longer on the pit stops. He's now in 12th place, but for some of the drivers they may be trying a 2-stop, maybe trying a 3-stop. I tell you what, Ray, if you could for us, if you could have a look through and see who's on prime tyres now, who's on option tyres now. I think most drivers did start on the options, but there were a couple that started on primes. RDB going for a look up the inside of Charlie. Car's weaving around all over the place, makes a move into turn 12, but Charlie's got the exit and the inside line for the next corner. Richie Davey having a sneaky look as well. But Richie's teammate Andy Russell on option tyres that look a little bit knackered is all over the back of Front Row Racing GP, who is running the prime tyre. So Farfborough, I think, has gone longer than anybody else, perhaps not knowing that other strategies may be more beneficial, because I think Paul may find himself either coming out right in the middle of this battle or right at the back of this battle. We've got a move going on up ahead. Lefty Hardtail making a move on Dave the Harp. Dave the Harp has not stopped yet. He's been running the prime tyre since the start of the race. So that's Lefty Hardtail up to a net 4th place at the moment. Then Dave the Harp, then Rickster, who is catching up to Dave the Harp fairly damn fast. But Rickster is on fairly new tyres, and the difference between new tyres and old tyres is absolutely enormous here at the Circuit of the Americas. But Rickster, if he just holds his station for a moment, I don't mean his PlayStation, I mean his position. Oh, he's giving him a nudge, he's giving him a nudge. I don't know where we've seen that before, but Dave the Harp manages to keep in the face in the right direction, and Rickster, he'll have DRS. He'll open it. The question is, has he got the straight line speed? It looks like he has. He has. So he manages to get just ahead of Dave the Harp, who's trying to go straight back past him up the inside. That's close. That's really, really close. For a Racing GP, still ahead of Andy Russell. Oh, and behind Richie Davey, he's made a couple of places while we've been watching that action a little further up. So that would be because Paul pitted, that's one of the positions, and he's overtaken RDB, and we can see Farfborough in the background there. So he did come out at the back of this train of cars. A train of cars that is being led by Front Row Racing GP on a set of prime tyres.
Yeah, Andy Russell, he's on options, and Adam 4600's the other person on options. The rest are on primes. Okay, so all of the drivers are on prime tyres at the moment, except for those two, but I think we'll see Dave the Harp going for a pit stop fairly soon. Andy Russell is having a look up the inside of Front Row Racing GP. Can he make the move stick? Oh, we've got a car coming flying up behind the Ferrari. That's Charlie. He's trying to get in on the action as well. Oh, this is getting very, very frantic. I mean, we've had 10 laps so far, and it's been absolutely non-stop action from start to finish. Charlie's car is all over the place, though, with what looks like a bit of lag. RDB looks like he was struggling a little bit in the background. Yeah, Charlie's car is sliding around all over the place. Hopefully for the drivers, it's looking a little bit more stable for them. Richie Davies all over the back of Charlie now. He's going to want to have a look up the inside, but he may be better off waiting for the DRS. Oh, Charlie's just giving GP a little bit of a nudge there. But we could be on for potential 3 DRS overtakes here. Richie Davey, you know he's going to try and give it a damn good go, but Charlie's got the DRS, and he's got slipstream from the car ahead. And no one makes a move. Yes, Richie does. A late move. I think Charlie didn't really give him a lot of room there. Well, actually, I wouldn't say he didn't give him a lot of room. He gave him no room there. Anyway, while this is still kicking on, Ray, have you been watching anything else? Oh, Andy Russell's gone deep. That gives GP half a chance. Charlie's now on the back of him as well. This is getting very, very close. Now, if Andy Russell has already made his pit stop, his option tyres are now going to be at that point where they're going to be starting to wear out quite badly. The grip's not going to be there. We've got a Mercedes going for the pit lane. That'll be Dave the Harp. Yeah, keep an eye on what tyres he goes for, Ray. It's Charlie having a look up the inside of GP as well. Richie's still staying in the inside of Charlie. He might get it down into turn 1 if he's late on the brakes. They're late on the brakes, the tyres are squealing. And Richie Davey, I don't know, I'm still on board with GP. I don't think he's got it done. No, he hasn't.
Not quite yet, Charlie. Oh, they're still side by side, though. We've got a helicopter camera view here. So Richie, Davey and Charlie managed to get a front row racing GP, but Richie will want to get ahead of Charlie as quick as possible. Andy Russell, he's still there. He's now holding these guys up on his worn option tyres. And it just goes to show what I was talking about with worn tyres compared to fairly new. Worn tyres compared to 4 or 5 lap old prime tyres, or worn options I should say, are fairly useless. Richie Davies very, very close to Charlie here. We could be on for round 15 of attack into turn 12. Let's see how we get on this occasion. Charlie's having a look, Richie's having a look, RDB, he's having a look on Front Row Racing GP as well. Can he make it up the inside? Yes, he can. But he's trying to have a look back. Go on, Ray.
No, I'll let you finish.
I was just saying, Front Racing GP attacked back and snuck through in the next corner.
It's this last few corners that Andy Russell seems to struggle on, and it bunches all the guys back up. There's Richie Davey on the outside of the corner where Charlie, a wee bit of tyre kissing there.
Okay, so the front 5 cars are fairly spread out. The next 5 cars are anything but spread out. We've got 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, all in a train. All having a look if they can make any kind of move. Charlie's trying. Andy's got to be getting to that point where he'll be thinking about another stop. Charlie's having a look. He's had to back out of it. That's given Richie Davey the opportunity. He's now behind his teammate, and he'll probably be saying to him, let me through, mate, let me through. But now Charlie's coming back at Richie Davey. And it's there we go. There's the move. Richie gets beyond his teammate. Give me a decent camera view, please.
Well, Andy's getting the move back on Charlie, and it's allowing GP to get on Charlie as well.
And not only that,
GP got it. No, he's not.
GP's under attack from Faf, but yeah, he's under attack himself. So all these guys are now going to get DRS. Richie Davey, see in the distance there, taking the Richie Davey defensive line. But this is absolutely manic. Heading down to turn 12, we've got a third car behind, trying to make moves as well. Charlie and Andy are off. Paul and GP are off. That's into the barrier. That's a front wing gone off one of the cars. It's a front wing off the Marussia. It's half a front wing off the Ferrari.
No damage and.
Yeah, Charlie's got no damage. Andy Russell doesn't look like he's got damage. The tyres will have taken a little bit of a heat cycle there. It's a bit of a shame that that collision has kind of happened there. It's sort of robbed us of a bit of a race, but it's given Richie Davey a bit of a breather now. The big winner from that was RDB, because he was at the back of the grid, or the back of that pack, and he's now gained a lot of places. Andy Russell is making a pit stop. I think that'll mainly be for tyres rather than for damage. Adam 4600,
so
he's going
Paul, Front Row Racing GP, they're all in the pits.
Okay, Adam 4600, he gains on them then. Dave the Harp running the option tyres, he gains on them as well. So it is kind of devastation for Andy Russell, who's coming out in 11th. Farfbrough's going to come out in 12th from Front Row Racing GP, who is now in 13th place. Leading the race though on lap 13 is Hindle with his teammate in second place. But I tell you what, Mr. Hamilton 44 is not too far behind him. But going long on that first stint, it did cost him a lot of time over Hindle. Okay, Ray, you did tell us that you'd got a second riddle, a second question of the day. Do you want to give it, or do you want me to give mine out?
2 seconds, I was plugging in a charger. Second riddle. Yeah, well, see how it goes. What has to be broken before it can be used?
Oh, you see, I've got a decent answer to that. I've got a few decent answers to that, actually. So yeah, viewers, second question of the day from Ray is, what has to be broken before it can be used? So if you've got any ideas, comment in the comments with @QOD or @Ray, let him know what you think the answer is. Now, Mr. Hamilton 44
Well,
is... Sorry,
I
go on.
ain't saying that, Will. Well, Butler's put a comment I can't say online.
Yeah, you naughty... I can't even see it, and I can imagine what it may have been. Rude, rude boy. Rude, rude boy. Now, I was tempted to say a stallion.
Because Walker's just as bad.
Well, I was going to say a stallion has to be broken before it can really be a stallion, which is true. But you can ride a stallion. You don't have to break it before you can ride it. But to be a stallion, it has to be broken, according to horsey people. But I think the cleaner answer I would go for is a can.
A can?
A can. You have to break the lid open to be able to drink out of it. I'm guessing that's not the right answer, but it's an interesting one. Mr. Hamilton 44 and Hybrid Nuke getting very, very close. Ray, if you could have a look down the grid for us, see if we've got any other action potentially building elsewhere. I do think those couple of collisions, though, kind of spoiled the party.
Dave the Harp's gone for a move on. Adam 4600 down to turn 12. He's got the move done before the braking zone, but he's gone deep, and that's going to let Adam have a chance back. Is he going to get it? No, Dave the Harp's got the inside line, but Adam 4600's looking for the switchback and he can't quite make it.
He might be able to on this next corner. Dave running a little wide. No. So their battle commences. See, Farfber and GP, they're a little spread out at the back. Hybrid Nuke is definitely coming under pressure from Mr. Hamilton 44, who seems to be a little bit more stable through Sector 1. Or at least he did from that camera angle that I just had, closing the gap up. Now, these guys are about 5 seconds off Hindle, the leader at the moment. And in many respects, Hybrid Nuke will not want to get held up battling Mr. Hamilton 44. It may actually work in Hybrid Nuke's favour to... I wouldn't say let Mr. Hamilton 44 past, but if he goes for the overtake, which I think he might do with DRS here, it would probably benefit him to not really attack him back. Because if Mr. Hamilton 44 has got a little bit of pace at the moment, he may be able to go and catch the leader, which could bring Hybrid Nuke into the battle for a victory a little later on. But Mr. Hamilton 44 doesn't really seem to be having a look at where he can overtake. He's just sticking to his racing line, taking his time, seeing where he can get close, but he's just got too close and ran a little wide out of the corner. Bit of a commentator's curse there, but if he can get close enough around the last two corners, he may be able to have an attack into turn 1 and then try and use sector 1 to open up a little bit of a gap. But with the drivers pitting sort of laps 5, 6, 7 for putting on the prime tyres, we could be seeing them pitting again any time now. And as I say that, Hindle has pitted. Hybrid Nuke takes the lead, and Mr. Hamilton 44 again not close enough or not gaining enough to attack into turn 1.
Left the hardtails went for a pit stop and he's on option tyres.
Okay, what tyres has Hindle gone for, Ray? Has he gone for the option tyres or has he gone for another set of the primes?
Yellow options.
Yeah, I was going to say, this amount of laps, we might as well go for the option tyres. I would be surprised though. I mean, the strategy I went for yesterday was doing very few laps on the prime tyre and maximising the options, but perhaps Hindle feels that he's using up his burning up his tyres a little bit more, so splitting what 12 laps between the option tyres.
Left the hardtails, got Rickster right behind him when he came out of the pit, so he needs to get these tyres warmed up and get going as he come down to turn 11, and then Rickster will have DRS, I'm pretty sure.
He will. Lefty Hardtail though, having come out of the pits on a brand new set of option tyres compared to Rickster's worn prime tyres now. I don't think Rickster is going to be able to attack. No, he's not. Let's see, in the background I think RDB, Andy Russell and Charlie, they look like they could be brewing up another fight.
Nukes in the pits, but Mr. Hamilton must have had a go at them because we've just seen the hybrid having to try.
Mr. Hamilton 44, he's got no front wing. He's got no front wing, so you could be right there, Ray. I went on board with him and he was on the exit of turn 1, but he has got no front wing now, and I think that's where he may have lost the wing. You could be right that something cracked off between those two there.
Yeah, it happened just before the final corner.
Okay, so excuse me. Hybrid Nuke then comes out of the pits in third place. Richie Davey currently in fourth place, but he'll have another stop to make very soon. Lefty Hardtail is now in fifth, with Rickster in sixth, and Rickster will have another stop to make very soon as well. Dave the Harp, let's see, he's on option tyres that he's been on for quite some time now. You can tell that by the look of them. They look absolutely knackered, but he'll be trying to go as long as he can on those to perhaps try and run another set of option tyres for the last stint of the race. RDB, I think, has made a pit stop and is running in 8th place, and he's ahead of Andy Russell, who did have to... I'm trying to think, did Andy Russell have to make a pit stop for damage? I can't remember. Yeah, well, no, he made a pit stop at the time GP and Farfbert stopped for damage. So I would guess that RDB has made a pit stop, which has now put them as close together as they are now. Farfbert in 11th place has got from a racing GP quite close, may just be in DRS range. We'll see if there's going to be any kind of attack. But I tell you what, those two having to pit when they did for damage, you would think had ruined their opportunity in the race, but it may have just happened at a point where they could run option to the end of the race, as Hindle posts a new fastest lap. And GP...
With the hardtails all over the back of Richard Davey.
Yep, you're right there. And Lefty Hardtail, as we mentioned a lap or so ago, is on much fresher tyres. And Richie Davey is on warm tyres. We see the damaged front wing of Mr. Hamilton 44's Marussia there. Lefty Hardtail chucking it up the inside. Fresher option tyres. Bit of bumping and grinding. Not a lot of room, but they're both facing the right direction. That puts Lefty Hardtail up into third place. And I think Richie Davey will be wanting to make a pit stop soon. But he'll know he can't get 10 laps out of the option tyres. The earliest you want to be pitting for your last set of options is the end of lap 20.
Mr. Hamilton's came out in 6th place, just in front of RDB.
Well, coming out where he has, probably couldn't have gone any better for him. He's got a clear track ahead. Fresher tyres, but he's got the option tyres on. He's not going to get those to the end, I don't think. He might try, but they will be absolutely awful. Go on.
Charlie's all over the back end. Russell a wee tyre kiss there, and Charlie got through. From what I've seen, our visuals.
Well, you know what Andy Russell's now got, as well as a bit of a dodgy camera angle for me there, is DRS down this back straight. But he's not got enough straight line speed to really attack. Oh, I don't think that was an attack. I think that was more an evasive, which turned into an overtake there. I really don't think that was an attack. I mean, I was on board with him, and his steering was straight. He hit the brakes, and then it was like, okay, I might hit him here. So yeah, manages to turn it into an overtake. Interesting one, that.
We've had a few guesses. I'll give the answer and then you can do your riddle.
Just hang on. Sorry, Ray, hang on a moment. Because, oh no, Andy Russell's going for the pit lane. I thought Charlie was going to attack him, but Andy is in the pits. Go on then. Tell the viewers, tell them what the question of the day was again and give them the answer.
The question of the day was, what has to be broken before it can be used? The answer I've got is an egg.
Ah, an egg. Oh.
Well,
you're not wrong.
People, put your cans there, but people, that's been manufactured at a factory.
True.
Where an egg comes out a hen.
Okay.
And when we want to use it, we've got to break it.
True. Okay. Then here's one for you, Ray. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
What came first?
Yep.
Oh, you'd need to have an egg to have a chicken.
Exactly. The egg came first. The egg came from a bird that was not quite a chicken, and what hatched out of the egg was a chicken. So the egg came first. That answers that age-old mystery and solves that one. Richie Davey might have a look at overtaking Charlie up the inside into turn 12. Charlie's given him the room because on the last lap, Richie's teammate had a bit of a look up there and a little bit of bumping and grinding, but Charlie does hold the position at the moment. I got to admit though, Ray, that was a pretty good question that I didn't think about, Egg. I'll tell you what though, you're going to absolutely hate my riddle. And on a roundabout lap...
Casey got it right.
Oh, well done, Casey. Well done. I'll tell you what, Casey, if you could let us know in as nice as words as possible. Oh, Richie Davey going for the overtake, undercut around the penultimate corner, manages to get ahead into the final corner, but may have just given Charlie DRS, which if he has, Charlie will be able to attack into turn 1. Richie Davey doing what he does, goes defensive. Charlie not close enough. I think Richie may have had the DRS there. Visually, neither of them had it, but Richie Davey is now ahead. Yeah, Casey, if you could give us a quick...
9th, 10th and 11th all close together. GP's got ahead of Paul and Dave the Harp's got ahead of Paul now.
Yeah, well, I think Dave the Harp may have made a recent pit stop, so he could be on a brand new set of option tyres. So it's possible that GP got ahead of Paul and Dave the Harp sort of come out in the middle of this one. Yeah. So this is going to get interesting. I thought we were going to go for a dull period of the race. You know what? After last week's race at Russia, which after huge crashes early on, went into very sort of, okay, let's talk and talk and talk. Oh, the last few laps, absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal, that's a new word. Phenomenal. It's like the abominable snowman. Yeah, we've had absolutely non-stop action here in America.
Hybrids in the pits.
So Hybrid, I wonder if he's going for an earlier stop over his teammate, unless Hindle has already made a pit stop. No, he hasn't. So Hybrid Nuke, I think he's going for a little bit of a cheeky undercut here, you know, seeing if he can close the gap up to the leader.
Coming down the straight, and he's well in front.
He is. Oh, Farf, but his race is over.
So is Rickster.
Yeah, Rickster, he's now ahead of Hybrid Nuke. But Rickster is going to have another stop to make, and I think Lefty Hardtail is going to have another stop to make as well. Okay, so Farfbert is now, he's out of the race. Dave the Harper from a Racing GP going at it, but not going at it because one of them has gone for the pit lane. So that frees up Dave the Harp now. He's on his last set of tyres, I think, in this race. So, go on.
You were asking about Casey he done it earlier on, sorry I never read it out. He get hit off by Charlie, wasn't intentional, just a racing collision. I waited for the cars to pass so I can rejoin the track safely and it disqualified me. I
don't know. That is a frustrating thing with the Codemasters games at times. It doesn't quite understand a safe return to track and an unsafe return to track. So very unfortunate for Casey there. Hindle goes for the pit lane then, covering off what his teammate has done behind him. Lefty
He's battling with Rickster through the last sector. Oh, Rickster made a wee mistake. And
Hybrid Nuke is through.
Nukes. Yeah, that was angry driving there, I think.
I think that could have, well, it would have held up Hybrid Nuke a little bit there. And Rickster in the pits as well. That means Mr. Hamilton 44 may be back up to third place. Whereabouts is Hindle? Are we going to see him ahead? Hindle's already round the first corner. He's gone. Yeah. So yeah, Hybrid Nuke would have been held up a little bit there. Mr. Hamilton 44 is back into third place. He's going to struggle on his tyres towards the end. Lefty Hardtail coming out of the pit lane. Have we got anyone coming down the start finish? Doesn't sound like it. Doesn't look like it. Yes, we have. It's Richie Davey. Can he make any kind of gains here? Turning into turn 1 and Lefty Hardtail is ahead. But Richie Davey is on the prime tyre. His last stop, he's put the prime tyre on to try and make sure he can get to the end of this race. It may not benefit him on the two cars that are near him, depending on what tyres they've gone for. Ray, if you can have a look at what tyres Lefty Hardtail's on, I'll have a look at Rickster. Rickster's on a set of options, so Richie Davey could be... well, a sit-in duck, really.
Options.
So yeah, so Lefty Hardtail should be able to open up that gap. But these three guys may be able to catch. Mr. Hamilton 44 is the whole length of that back straight ahead. But when his tyres go off, they're going to go off big time. I mean, they're not looking great at the moment, and he's got another 6 laps to do on them. Yeah, his lap times are going to plummet towards the end of this race. Okay, Dave the Harp, he's up to 7th place. RDB is in 8th place. Andy Russell in 9th. Charlie behind him in 10th. From a Racing GP behind him in 11th on a set of option tyres going to the end. That battle could crunch up a little bit. Adam 4600 in 12th and is the last runner. But Hindle, I mean...
Rickster's trying to get past Richard Davies, going wide round the corners while Richard Davies takes it tight, and then he's going tight round the corners while Richard Davies takes it wide. So Rickster's trying his best to get past Richard Davies.
Well, in a way, he needs to try and make a move into turn 1 if he can, but he hasn't got the speed to really attack, because he's going to get held up now all the way through Sector 1. He's got the better tyres, the better grip, but they're going to be wasted while he's stuck behind Richie. He may even find he catches him up too fast through here. It's very easy to do, and there we go. There's the moment. He caught him up a little bit too quick, and now he'll be off the throttle. And then you're into a section of the track where you can overtake, but you don't want to, because DRS detection is just on the way down the hill. So you've got to try and get it close into turn 11 to try and attack with DRS down the long straight. But Richie Davies has been looking fairly damn fast in a straight line. But Rickster, he's right up behind him. He's right up behind him. He's definitely going to have DRS. He should be able to attack into turn 12. The wing is open. He wants the inside. He's going for the inside. It's going to make the corner very, very tight. Richie's going for the switchback. Can't quite make it work. Excuse me. So that's Rickster up to 5th. But that's cost Rickster quite a lot of time on the track.
He's 4 seconds behind Lefty Hardtail.
Okay, Lefty Hardtail is 13 seconds behind Mr. Hamilton 44, who is 3 seconds behind Hybrid Nuke. But Mr. Hamilton 44, as I've mentioned a few times, has been on those tyres a lot longer. Okay, I'm going to try and get my riddle in, Ray. Are you ready for this one? Are you ready for this one? Are you ready, viewers? Get ready. Get your answers in as quick as possible. A room is built around you. No windows, no doors. There's just you, a mirror, and a table. How do you get out? Okay, Hindle's leading this race. I'll leave that one to play on Ray's mind and on the viewer's mind. Hindle's leading the race, should be comfortable all the way to the end. Hybrid Nuke, I'm wondering if he's struggling a little bit on his tyres. With a lack of practice, he may be burning them up a little bit too much. Mr. Hamilton 44 is actually closing that gap in on him. Or perhaps Hybrid Nuke is just trying to look after his tyres at the moment, but that is something we are going to have to try and keep an eye on. Rickster, you can see how much he would have been held up behind Richie Davey, because he's opened up an enormous gap on him at the moment, and he's going to try catching Lefty Hardtail. Go on, Ray, what do you got for us?
Charlie and Andy Russell 8th and 9th, coming down to turn 11th. Andy Russell's, he's not going defensive. Oh, contact!
Charlie gives him a nudge. Charlie didn't bite his finger. Charlie rammed his rear end. But I tell you what, there's a Ferrari closing in behind them, and there's a Mercedes joining in for the party. But Charlie's got DRS here, having a look up the inside. Can he make this move stick? Andy Russell's given him plenty of room there, and Andy Russell will probably be saying, see, that's how you do it, that's how you give him room. Although when Andy went for the move earlier, I still don't think it was actually I don't think it was a premeditated, I'm going to chuck it up the inside. I think it was one of those, yeah, I'll just follow him down here, oh crap, okay, I'm going for an overtake. But those two battling, it has allowed the Ferrari from a Racing GP to close in on the back of Andy Russell now. And it is Dave the Harp behind GP. Now, you might not think there's much to this, but Dave the Harp and GP are kind of battling it out between themselves for their own standings. But also Rickster, who's in about 5th place at the moment, is going to potentially gain quite a lot of points over from a Racing GP and Dave the Harp. Oh, I thought that was a sneaky look into turn 1. Andy Russell a little bit out of shape. Quite possibly. But Andy is still ahead. But is Andy? I'm just trying to see if Andy's on the prime tyre. He is. He's on the prime. Yeah. So that'll be why he's being caught a little bit here. He's on the prime tyre. Everybody else is on the options around him. So he sort of matched his teammate for strategy there. But for him, it may have been. It may have gone that way because of. Pitting quite early, but Dave the Harp, he's all over the back of Front Row Racing GP now. Andy Russell sideways out to 12. GP needs to get this move done so he can try and create a little bit of a gap between himself and Dave the Harp, who is on a charge at the moment. Ray, can you do me a favour? Can you have a look at Mr. Hamilton 44 and Hybrid Nuke? Just let us know if they're getting close at all. GP sort of kind of cautious around turn 12 there. That gives Andy Russell a chance to keep the inside for the next corner, but now GP's got the outside. A nice move around the outside there. And now it's Dave the Harp's turn. And so Andy Russell is going to be feeling very, very frustrated at this stage of the race, just being overtaken lap after lap.
Still 3 seconds between Hybrid Nuke and Mr. Hamilton.
Okay,
44.
What's the gap between Lefty Hardtail and Mr. Hamilton 44? There's Dave the Harp very, very close to the back of Andy Russell. I think there'll be an attempt of an overtake into turn 1 here. Perhaps not. Andy's had a very good exit of that corner. He's clear enough, far enough ahead to avoid being attacked.
About 14 seconds.
Okay, so it is still 14 seconds then up at the... Andy Russell, he must have had an absolute moment mare somewhere. Dave the Harp's just come flying past him like Andy Russell was standing still. So I do think that was a little bit of an off there perhaps for Andy Russell. Okay, Hindle. He's just about to start lap 27 of this race. He's had it fairly comfortable. And I tell you what I'm going to do. Let's just have a look at the current standings. Because after this race, there will be 3 races left. A maximum 75 points available. He currently has a 43-point lead over his teammate. And if the positions stay as they are at the moment, he'll gain another 7 points. So it could go from 43 to 50 points with 75 points available. So he can't clinch the title here, but it's getting to the point where Hybrid Nuke is going to need Hindle to not finish the last 3 races. And talking to Hybrid Nuke, currently 13 seconds off the leader. I think he'll be fairly pleased if he finishes in second place, given the lack of practice. Mr. Hamilton 44, still there or thereabouts. Well, let's have a look at his tyres. Oh yeah, they're not looking too nice, really. Front right tyre, yep, that wants to pop. Rear left tyre, it's not looking too healthy. Front left tyre, yeah. I mean, that's something that Mr. Hamilton 44 will have to be a little bit aware of. He's struggling under braking. He's going to have to make sure he looks after those tyres, because the last thing he'll want to do is get a puncture. Lefty Hardtail, 4th place. Rickster, not quite been able to close up on him much. 4 seconds behind him in 5th. Richie Davey in 6th. RDB 7th. His option tyres looking absolutely awful. Now RDB said he wanted to finish 6th. He's in 7th. He'll probably take that. Charlie in 8th. And oh my days, I thought I'd seen Charlie. That is looking absolutely awful. And I tell you what, I think he's being caught by Front Row Racing GP and Dave the Harp. Yeah, DRS is available. I think Charlie may be coming under attack from these two guys in the last 2 laps. Yeah, Charlie's tyres, the suffering. From a Racing GP, he might want to time it, or he might just want to pounce as soon as possible. Can't afford to lose any time behind behind Charlie here, with Dave the Harp lurking in the background. If there is a difference in grip, it'll really, really show through the long corner. There we go, Charlie running very, very wide. I think we could be looking at an attack into turn 1 here. But Ray, if you can keep an eye on Hindle for us and let us know when he's getting to the last few corners on the final lap, as we see if GP can make any kind of attack on Charlie into turn 1. Or a little bit of lag again from Charlie's car. Not quite able to make the move.
He's coming in to the last few corners now. He's coming in the triple right.
Okay, Ray, if you can then go and watch Charlie and GP and Dave the Harp as Hindle, he is going to come around the final corner for the final time and provisionally take victory here at the Circuit of the Americas. It's another win for him. It's another step towards taking the championship in the World Series.
Went off and GP's overtook him. I don't know who's going to have DRS. Is it going to be Charlie or
Charlie's been disqualified? Oh dear, on the last lap of the race, that's race over for Charlie, but that's now put Dave the Harp all over the back of GP. Sorry to sort of cut you off there, Ray. Well done to Hybrid Nuke and I think Mr. Hamilton 44, who did finish second and third. GP going defensive. Dave the Harp trying to go around the outside. GP's got the position covered off. Could get busy into the last couple of corners. Oh, okay, let's see if, who have we got? Richie Davey just crossed the line in 6th. RDB is going to cross the line in 7th. Well done to him. And then we are on to the 8th and 9th battle. So from a racing GP, can he hold him off? Dave the Arp, can he get past him? Can he attack him? Is he going to go for any kind of lunge into the final corner?
Too far back.
He does look too far back, so it looks like it could be 8th place for Formula Racing GP, 9th place for Dave the Harp, but obviously we don't know what in-game penalties the drivers may have had. Andy Russell coming around the final corner to take 10th place. And then Adam 4600 in 11th, who I think is the last runner on the circuit. He is. And you know what? I don't think we ended up with a lapped car.
No. Well, I don't know.
I don't think we did. But anyway, well done to Adam 4600. We'll see now the podium. And it does look like Hindle takes the victory. Hybrid Nuke second place and Mr. Hammond at 44. He did well to get those option tyres to the end. At the end, they would have been absolutely awful for those final couple of laps. Now in a few moments we will get the drivers in for the podium interviews, but we'll let them spray their champagne celebrating the result at the American Grand Prix. Now for the viewers, if you've got any questions you would like us to ask the drivers on your behalf in the podium interviews, put @Ray in the comments and ask your question and we'll get to them as early as we can. Hindle had a penalty. Hybrid Nuke managed to avoid them. Mr. Hamilton 44, he did receive one. Lefty Hardtail looked like he managed to avoid them as well. Rickster got 3 of them. Richie Davey had 4 of them. RDB none. Dave the Harp does move up a place as from a Racing GP also received a penalty. Andy Russell had 6 of them. Adam 4600 had 3 of them. And then we did have 3 disqualifications. Wow, well what a race. Okay, for the viewers, I'm going to give my little riddle out again, just in case it's played on anyone's mind and they want to try and answer the question. Okay, a room is built around you. There's no windows, there's no doors. There's just you, a mirror and a table. How do you get out of the room? Ray, have you got a thought on the answer of that one?
Nope,
no.
Not at all.
Is that an evil one?
Yeah.
It is a little bit, isn't it? Should I ask it to the drivers when they come into the podiums? I think not. I might do a little towards the end of the podium interviews. Okay, Ray, if you could invite Hindle, Hybrid Nuke and Mr. Hamilton 44 in for the podium interviews. And we will fire some questions at them. But I must admit, that was... I mean, it was a very action-packed race, but it was a fantastic race. I mean, okay, there wasn't much of a battle for the lead towards the end, or from about halfway through, but plenty of action to keep us all entertained throughout that race. I know sometimes people want to see just what happens up at the front, but to be fair, I like to see what is happening in those battles further down the grid, and there were lots of them. Okay, have you managed to send those? Those
yeah, we'll get Mr. Hamilton and Hybrid Nuke in. We're just waiting on Hindle.
Okay, yeah, I've seen that we've got Mr. Hamilton 44, we've got Hybrid Nuke, so we'll just wait for Hindle to come and join us. So yeah, viewers, as I mentioned, if you have got any questions you would like us to ask the drivers, put at Ray and ask your questions, and we'll try and get to them as soon as possible. But welcome to the podium interview to Hindle, first place, Hybrid Nuke, second place, Mr. Hamilton 44 in third place. If all three of you could please just make sure that you have got your microphone set to allow to be shared in the party settings. Mr. Hamilton 44, I know you've not been on a podium interview before, so if you could please definitely make sure that you do check that. Otherwise, nobody will hear anything that you say.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hopefully the viewers can hear you. Viewers, if you didn't hear someone just go, hello, can you hear me? Then you can let us know that we can't hear Mr. Hamilton 44. Well, we'll come to you in a moment, Mads. We will come to you in a moment. But first of all, we'll go to Hindle, our race winner. Too easy?
No, that was not easy. The first stint was not easy at all. I mean, I had a gap, but I did too many laps in quali, so I knew I'd be at a disadvantage, and Miss Hamilton just clawed so much time in that first stint. But then from then on, I don't know what happened to him. Dom said he lost his wing, but from then on it was quite easy. Well, saying that, I had to make sure I didn't get any penalties, which I took focus off for a bit, and then I did get a penalty.
Yeah. Well, at least now we know why you went for an early stop at the first stint, because you'd done the extra laps in qualifying. So that kind of explains that one. Strategy. Before yesterday's race, did you have a strategy in mind, and did it change after last night's race for today's?
No, I was always under a free stop. I tried a two-stop. I did a two-stop doing prime, but it was just too slow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was always going to do the three-stop.
Okay, if the results stay as they are, you open the gap up a little bit. You've got to be all thinking now for definite yourself. This is on. This is on to take the title.
It is. I mean, I'm pretty confident it will stay as it is. And if that is the case, I'm 50 points in front. That means 2 disconnections in the last 2 races. Yeah. Because if I finish in Mexico, that is. But I just need to keep my nose clean for the last 3 races.
Yep. Okay, we talked a little bit before this evening's race, and you were saying to me that you weren't sure about where you were going to go with your arrows. So if you don't mind me asking, where did you go with your arrows?
I was going to go 6-4, but I loaded the wrong setup and went out. So it was 5-3. So I had to at the beginning of the race up the arrows, and it helps a lot because on the primes there's no grip at all.
Yeah, I mean last night the primes did feel good on 6 on the front wing. But anyway, very well done. It looked a simple-ish race, but as I'm sure anyone who has driven around the Circuit of the Americas knows, it is not an easy racetrack to get around. Proven by what happened with a few of the other drivers, but very well done. We're more than likely going to be coming back to you in a few moments' time. So we'll move on to onto Hybrid Nuke. I'm going to guess that this one, you're probably going to be a little more satisfied with the result of this one straight after the race compared to last week.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad drive, was it?
No.
Quite enjoyed that race.
What happened in qualifying, though?
I mean, like I said before the race, I haven't practiced at all. And then every time I went into a corner, my rears would lock up. So I went back into the pits, looked at my setup. My tyre pressures were way down. I mean, they were like 17. So I put those up. And then went to go out for a lap. It felt really good, and then got an invalidated lap. So I was like, oh, well, that's it then. 8th place it is for me.
Yeah, but was it a fresh set of tyres for the start of the race?
No.
No. Okay. Your teammate pitted kind of early. I think you and Mr. Hamilton pitted at the same time at the first round of stops.
He went on for another lap.
Oh, right, okay. Later on it looked like you went for a cheeky undercut on your teammate for the last stint. Was that was that an attempt at a cheeky undercut?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at my tyres thinking, we've been on it not too long, but enough for me to get a good undercut.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to fight for the lead. And then I came up behind Rickster. I don't know if he was letting me past or what, but, you know, I pretty much stopped coming out of the corner, so that ruined all of that. So on the last stint, it was literally just, I got 8 laps to do, chill, and finish.
Okay, towards the end, it looked like Mr. Hamilton 44 was able to close up the gap a little bit. But did you have any idea of what happened to him when he did lose his wing?
Yeah, we did get told that he lost his wing. I'm not quite sure how. I was a little bit flabbergasted about how. He goes straight through me just before he lost his wing.
Well, I'm sure.
But I mean, at the end, there was no real threat. I was just chilling.
I mean, that's the thing. Obviously, you would have known that he'd been on that set of tyres for a long time.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to challenge you.
Yeah, exactly. I was literally just. It was cruise control from the end.
Okay. Well, I'm sure we'll come back to you in a few moments' time. So, very well done on provisional second place there. And we'll move over to Mr. Hamilton 44. I believe your name is Mads. How are you this evening?
Yes. Good.
Good.
I didn't win, but
no,
it's okay.
No, that is true. You didn't win, but I think everyone's going to love the fact that your name is Mads. I'm fairly sure there'll be a lot of people out there that would want that name. Okay. Qualifying probably didn't go exactly as you would have wanted, but started third place.
Yeah.
And in that first stint, it looked like you were able to sort of challenge Hindle. You were really over the back of him.
Yeah, really was. But I knew I could go longer than him. I felt his tire was going off. So trying to extend that stint and go for a 2-stop.
Okay, so the first stint, it did get close. You went longer on your tyres. So it looked like you were going for a 2-stop strategy. Was that always the plan, a 2-stop?
Yeah, it was always the plan from the beginning.
So when you lost your wing, was there a little bit of frustration there? Because it kind of made you have to pit a bit earlier than you wanted to.
Yes, a lot of frustration. I actually lost my front wing twice.
Oh, so, well, tell us, how did you lose it?
The first time, I was about to get into the pits in the penultimate corner. I spun and hit the wall. Didn't lose too much time on. But on the second time, it was the last corner, so I had to do an entire lap with a broken front wing.
And if there's ever a track, I mean, I know I say this about a lot of tracks, but if there's ever a track you don't want to do a full lap without a front wing, America is one of them. Okay, so you do the lap, no front wing, you get back round to the pits. I think you came out in about 5th, 6th place. Sixth place. Did you think at that point there was still a possibility of a podium?
Yeah, the guys in front wasn't too far ahead. Option tire, so I knew I had the pace to catch them. They didn't knew they were going to pit again.
Yeah. Okay. Last question from me for the moment. How bad were those tyres on those last couple of laps?
really bad.
Yeah.
But kept it together quite nicely.
You did very, very well. So congratulations on the provisional 3rd place there. So we'll move over to Ray. Ray, do we have any questions from the viewers for the drivers?
Yes, we do. Sorry, I've been copy and pasting. Mr. Hamilton, how did you lose your front wing?
We've had that one.
Yeah, we already told you.
I'm busy here. They come in thick and fast.
Here's a question of the day. Does Ray listen to the questions I ask the drivers when he's watching the YouTube getting their questions?
No.
For anyone that didn't hear, he lost his wing twice. Once on the penultimate corner, spun it at the wall just before he pitted, and another time on the last corner, spun it into the barrier. Very easy to do that. Okay, next question.
To handle, and this is from Overdyke King. To handle and hybrid, do you guys think your new driver coach has made a good influence on the results? You have only finished 1-2 with this new driver coach?
We finished 1 and 2.
We've been 1-2 like every race.
Have you noticed the driver coach came in after they'd won the Constructors' Championship?
Very true. But it has been a lot easier. Like him telling us what's going on and that. It's been a lot calmer in the chats.
Yeah. For sure.
Okay, next question.
Hammer time 44 to hybrid. Where was your pace?
Like I said, I hadn't raced at all. I hadn't practiced. Just showed up and drove. So you let me know when you come second after that.
Here's an add-on question for you then. Why no practice? Was it because you felt, well, he's won it anyway?
No, personal reasons.
Okay, fair enough. Next question.
I don't know if this has been answered or whatever. Hammer time to hybrid. What happened between you and Mr. Hamilton?
What? When?
I'm
He
guessing.
tried to overtake me, ghosted through me, and I drove off into the race.
I don't know, I'm just reading the questions as they come. And then the last one is Hammer time. He's a gangster on the keyboard. Didn't he block him? Hammer time. Handle, if you win the title earlier, will you start at the back?
No, I will give it to a reserve driver.
Interesting.
Will you? Give them a chance. Show what they've got.
I like that. Wimping out to start from the back of the grid, but I like that.
I hope I haven't just jinxed myself and I get 2 disconnections now.
Mexico DNF, Brazil DNF,
Penalties.
And then the last race I've got to bloody win it.
yeah. Interesting. Okay, Ray, we got any more questions?
No, it's back to you for your riddle.
Okay, right. For the drivers on the podium, obviously you may not have heard the questions of the day. We've had a few of them today. Ray's had a couple. We've already given the answers out for those. I gave out a little riddle and we haven't given the answer, so I'm just going to go through it again. I don't know if we've actually had any responses to it on the YouTube channel, Ray, at all, because it's not the easiest one. But for you guys now, you'll get to hear this one. So it's a little bit of a riddle for you. A room is built around you. There's no windows, there's no doors, there's just you, a mirror, a table. How do you get out?
Close your eyes and walk out.
No.
Just imagine walking out.
You're never in the room.
A room is built around you. You're never in the room. No, that one's not right.
You're lying.
We all questions. You never know.
Mr. Hamilton, Mr. Hamilton 44. Would you like to have a go at answering this one?
I just break the wall.
I'll just break the wall. That'd be one way to do it. I'll give out the correct answer, and you're gonna hate me for this one, folks. You're gonna hate me for all of the questions I do. Are you ready for this? Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
You look in the mirror and see what you saw. You take the saw and cut the table in half. 2 halves make a hole. You climb out the hole.
That is just ridiculous.
Dave.
I
would think of that.
I
thought, to be fair, you're going to be like, yeah, cut off the legs, make a door frame, walk out.
Hey, I've got more. Here you go. Here's another one for you.
Okay.
Seeing as we're at America, this is a serious one. When America first introduced airmail, how was the first delivery made?
By a plane.
No.
By internet.
By
I don't know, something to the plane.
paper
that took
airplane.
it. Don't know. Whatever can take it to the plane, and then the plane took it.
Nope.
I'm saying a paper airplane, just chuck out your window.
Nope.
By post, so fucking hard, bloody hell.
Ray, do you want to have a go?
Sorry, I missed it. I was dealing with something.
Okay, we'll leave him to it. I'll just give the answer to that one. By train.
How
Your
is that
brother
airmail?
got it right.
Because they planned on sending the mail by hot air balloon. But after 5 hours, the hot air balloon had only gone about 15 kilometres, so they brought it back down, put all the mail on a train, and sent it off. There you go. Okay, time to bring this to an end then for the podium interviews. So, drivers, very well done. You can go and shout your frustrations about my questions of the day and raise questions of the day. So thank you very much for joining us. Very well done. You are now free to leave the podium interview room, and if you don't, I'm sure Ray will give you a little nudge towards the door. So very well done to you three. So as Hindle makes his way out, taking the winner's trophy, Hybrid Nuke makes his way out, taking the trophy for second place. Mr. Hamilton 44.
Dave.
Yes.
Just for the record, I don't think it recorded the first 10 laps of my race.
Okay, send me a message afterwards, and I shall talk to you about that one. So yeah, send me a message on Facebook, and we'll sort that one out. I can hear Ray giggling to himself. So very well done to Mads Sorensen there for getting third place.
Thanks.
You're very welcome.
See you later.
See you later. Okay, and we'll go over to Ray now. Ray, have we got any post-race comments from any of the drivers who did not make it onto the podium?
GP penalty to be appealed as Charlie hit me off in last lap. And then GP again. Will the league stop drivers that keep lag crashing into other drivers messing up their race?
Well, it's an interesting it is an interesting question now, and connectivity is a huge factor, and I do know that it is something that the admins do look at. And for years, we've all tried to give. Well, look, we want the guys to be able to race, but you do have to get to a point where you go, okay, right, this guy's lagging all over the place. A lot of races. If there's no collisions, it's kind of not too bad. But if there is collisions, that's when it gets bad. And you look at people like Stocky, his lag was terrible. Got himself an Ethernet cable, even though some people say an Ethernet cable does nothing. Got himself an Ethernet cable, connection much more stable. Adam 4600 did the same. I mean, Rickster, his lag last week was unbelievable. He has fairly decent internet, and sometimes internet goes up and down. But yeah, I mean, it might be something that the league does have to sort of look at, because it gets very difficult to race against people that have got a lot of lag. Any other comments there, Ray?
I like Handel's idea, and I like it too, because that gives the FRRO drivers, whoever he picks as a reserve, some experience. Yeah, he's won a championship. Well,
if he wins
why
the
not
championship?
let somebody else?
No, yeah, no.
Well,
I mean,
if he wins it.
yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I like that answer. I mean, if he does, like, say at the next race he wins the championship, then yeah, I mean, why not? It'd be a great opportunity for one of the reserve drivers. And I mean, when you look at it, the FRRI Day system this season has worked probably better than we expected it would. I mean, we knew that the potential was there for the FRRI Day system to work really well. That's why we put it in place. Even though people moaned and they complained and they argued against it and they didn't like it, and then when they needed a reserve, they were like, "Oh, I want a reserve driver." Yeah, it has worked very, very well. And I do know that, I mean, most people won't know this, but in the background, there is a little bit of stuff that's being worked on, which I don't know when we'll be able to reveal it, but because it takes a little bit of work. But there's some stuff going off in the background that might be able to give a good view of how the F4R days drivers have been getting on. But anyway, right. Anything else from any of the drivers there, Ray?
Nightwalker, if Handel wins a championship, I'll let Handel drive for me for final 3 races.
Oh no, we can't have that one. We can't have that one. That's sneaky, Nightwalker. But then you wouldn't be a Nightwalker if you weren't sneaky. Okay, if that's the last of the comments,
Yep.
then I'll just quickly mention that next up on the Front Row Racing YouTube channel will be tomorrow evening at 7:30 p.m. for round 17 of the F4R Days Cup. And that's at Mexico, so it'll be very exciting to see how those guys get on. One of the things I am thinking of doing, though, we have had quite a few reserve drivers race this week, and we do have quite a number of guys wanting in on the F4R days. I'll have a think about it tonight, but one of the things I am thinking of doing is saying to those guys that have had a reserve drive this week, of saying to them, right, we're not going to invite you this week. We'll give these guys a chance. You've shown what you can do. Chill out. Don't worry about it. We'll give these guys a chance. I'll have a think about that tonight, confirm it tomorrow. But yeah, 7:30 p.m. on the YouTube channel for that, and then later on tomorrow evening, 9 p.m. is round 3 of the Front Row Racing PCF, the Project Cars Fridays League. And if last week's anything to go by, that'll be absolutely manic around the Oschersleben circuit. Next up for the Front Row Racing World Series will be next Thursday, 7:30 p.m. for round 17 at Mexico, and that could be a very, very interesting race. And a little bit of tidbit of information for people: go and have a look at the Sky Sports Facebook page, the Sky Sports F1 Facebook page, because Ted Kravitz has done a little bit of a video looking at the Baku circuit. Very interesting, so go and have a look at that. Anyway, Ray, any final comments you want to end on there?
No, that was great racing, great battles. That was quite good for us tonight.
Yeah.
I'll end up on that.
Not a bad way to end. Okay, thank you to all of the viewers for watching and for commenting and taking part. Apologies for our dodgy questions of the day. Don't worry, they'll get even worse for next week. And yeah, so that's it. We've been Front Row Racing. This has been the World Series. He's been Front Row Racing RI. I've been Front Row Racing DP. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all again soon.